Hi, on this video, I'm going to answer the frequently asked question, how do I keep my team members on track and engaged? And this generally comes from business builders, and they're asking especially for team members that are just starting out on their journey. So I'm going to give you 5 strategies that I've used and that I found very useful when I first got started. So hi, I'm Lucy. If you've not met before, then I help female business builders to expand their team and grow their online skills. So how do I keep my team on track and engaged? Like I said, it's generally business builders asking for their team members that are just getting started. And I looked back at this and I thought, well, what kept me on track? So this also, I can give you these 5 steps that I use, but I would also suggest you look at for yourself what has kept you on track in the past. So that's a really good question to ask yourself. But what we want to be able to do is help people stay on track, because oftentimes somebody is coming into the business and they've never worked for themselves before. They've not had to manage their time, manage their actions, get things, learn new skills, get things set up so that they can really make the most of their day. So the very first thing at the start of their journey is to really engage with them and find out what their goals are, what their dreams are. So that's going to be something that is going to carry on all the way through their business, and they're things that are going to change. So the second thing is to check in monthly with those goals and probably quarterly with the dreams, so that they know and they remember what those goals are monthly, and also if they've changed, because perhaps because they're working with you, they are achieving those goals and dreams. And so they do change. Once you've reached a goal, clearly it's going to change because now you've got a new goal, right? So the third thing is to make sure that you're engaging with them on a call, whichever way that you work your business. I generally do, I like to do one-to-one calls. So if you're engaging with them like that once a week, especially when they're first getting started, and it might be even more often, it might be daily that you do it because they've got that amount of time. It depends on the person, but work out what is the best amount of time between those calls for that person and the amount of time that they have. You don't want to overwhelm somebody by calling them every day, but on the other hand, you don't want to leave them for a whole week if they need you 2 or 3 times a week, and they're going to appreciate that. So then have regular group calls, because when people come together and they start to engage and they start to build relationships, that's something else that really kept me in the business, was building some fantastic relationships with my team members upline, because obviously I was new. So it was understanding that the team not only goes the one down that you're building, but it also goes up, and you can build relationships with those people. So that was great, and seeing what they're doing and that being inspired by that. I knew that I was, so I know my new team member is going to be inspired by that as well. So regular group calls. And the fifth thing really is to give activities with the team. Now, that might be an activity that's a social activity if you live near each other. It might be a social activity online, which is not so great. But if you can only do it online because your team is spread all over the place, as a lot of our teams are, then having a social activity online as well. Again, maybe every 2 or 3 months, you'll get the feel for how often that should be and how often that works best. But also having group calls whereby you are doing a training call for lots of people. I call them focus groups, and they can be different size focus groups. They can be specifically for a certain level, but definitely for the new people coming through, to hear from and to understand that there are other people that are similar to them, similar situations. Maybe they've only got a small amount of time to work the business, but they're still achieving their goals. And that's inspiring, right? And then as a bonus, as a bonus ball, I would say, if you're going to give them something to do between one call and the next, make it one thing. So rather than giving 2, 3, or 4, 5 things, just give them one thing to do. So, it might be to go away and write a post about your story. Go away and make a reel this week. Come back and tell me what it's going to be. Just one thing. Again, you don't want to overload. And if there's just one thing to do, they're far more likely to do that and feel good about themselves. So there's the key. You want them to feel good about themselves and get that thing done. And then you can evaluate it. You can work on it. You can help them to make it better, or you can just congratulate them on what a fabulous job they've done. So there are my 5 tips with a bonus tip. And really, as I say, engagement was the most important thing for me. Building those relationships is always so key. So I hope that helps you. If you've ever asked that question, perhaps that's going to give you a few other things that you can try out, or just to get stronger on the ones that you're using already. So do check out any others in this playlist. If there might be a seldom asked question that you can delve into and find out more. And do click on that subscribe button. That also helps. Take care, and I'll see you soon.